Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Sarah, and I'd like to welcome you to day 6 of the Crochet Christmas Challenge. If you don't know what the Crochet Christmas Challenge is, you can go ahead and pop into that description because nobody likes a long-winded intro. In day 6, we will be crocheting these mini turtles. These guys are entirely no-sew, with a bit of optional sewing to secure the head, which is not hard at all, and I'll show you how to do. And like I said, it is optional. In today's tutorial, I will not be working with size 4 yarn, but I will be working with size 6 plushy yarn. This is an example of what it looks like. I will be using the cream color for the skin, the head, and this color for the shell. The construction begins by making the head, which we will crochet and then set aside for the next step, where we will crochet the shell. And then once we complete the shell, we'll fasten off and join the new color, crochet the legs and the head on, and then close up the body. Overall, a really quick and easy construction, and this shouldn't take much longer than half an hour. You will also need a corresponding crochet hook with whatever size yarn you end up using. My rule of thumb is whatever the yarn size is, so say it's a size 6, I'll use a 6mm crochet hook, and the same goes with a size 4 crochet hook. You could do a little bit of experimenting to find the best, but that's where I like to start. You also need some scissors, a sewing needle, and a stitch marker. You will also need some stuffing, which I'm not going to get out right this second. First, we will begin with the head, like I said, and the way we will do this is we'll either use the magic ring or the chain 2 method. My preferred method is chain 2, so I will create a slip knot, chain 2, and that is my, rather than using the magic ring. You can use either method because both methods will end with the same result. For that first round, we will put 6 single crochets into our chain 2 or our magic ring. Because I'm working with plushy yarn, I like to close up this magic ring or your chain 2 2 or 3 rounds in rather than closing it right now. For round 2, we will increase in each stitch around. Now at this point, I will attempt to close the magic ring or your chain 2. There we go, that's good enough. Now for the next 2 rounds, we will just single crochet in each stitch around. For the final round on the head, we will just be decreasing in each stitch around. If you are working with a smaller yarn, you might want to sew the eyes on first, which I'll show you after this round, and then come back and complete this round. Once you completed this round, slip stitch, chain 1, and fasten off, leaving a short tail. Now, at this point, I like to secure the center end to prevent it from falling apart over time as quickly. The way I do this is just by creating an archway and pulling tight. This will create a knot, and then I like to do this 2 to 3 times depending on how tight I can get it. I'm gonna do this a 3rd time. Just like so. Now at this point, I will stitch the eyes on. For this, I will be using some dark gray. You could also use some safety eyes if you have them on hand. Personally prefer to stitch these eyes on because I designed these more for young children. And I don't want to have that risk of the eyes coming off. So with your yarn on your needle, insert it through the inside to the outside, leaving just a short tail so we can tie it off later. And this will be between our single crochet rounds, and we'll stitch the eye on. You can insert safety eyes between the 2 single crochet rounds if you are using safety eyes instead. Here's the eye on one side, and then going all the way across, straight across to the other side, stitch the eye on in just the same manner between those 2 single crochet rounds. Just like so. Bring this yarn inside your piece and tie the 2 tails together. Remember not to pull too tight because you don't want to shrink your eyes down. And then just stuff all of the tails inside the head. If you have extra space, you can stuff the head a bit. If you have too much tail, just snip it a little bit so that you're able to stuff it all the way into the head. This just makes it easier when we go to stitch it on because there will be no tails in the way. There we are. You want your head to be fairly stiff, like so, and when we crochet it on, we'll be pinching the seam together and crocheting through those 3 stitches. Take your head and set it aside for now, and we'll begin on our shell. Let me see if I can find the tail real quick. Here we are. For the shell, we will begin with our magic ring or our chain 2 method again. And we will single crochet 6 into that center, or into that first round. Just like so. Now for this round and all the following rounds, if you're using your stitch marker, you'll put it into that last stitch. For round 2, increase in each stitch around. So it's currently raining where I live, and it's been raining all day. So if you can hear the geese in the background, that is why they are very excited that it is wet. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut all their sounds out. They're just very excited. So you've been warned. For round 3, I believe, yep, round 3, we'll just increase and then single crochet and repeat that 6 times. So I realized that I made a mistake and didn't increase in this stitch here, so I'm going to go back and fix that, which I'm sure I'll speed through so you don't have to watch that. It's definitely annoying. Okay, so apparently today isn't a very good day to film content because I messed up several more times off camera. I have now fixed it, everything should be set. Make sure to finish round 3, which I have done, thankfully. And we're gonna move on to round 4. This round we will increase and then single crochet 2, and we'll repeat that 6 times. That is the end of round 4. Once you have completed that round, we will single crochet in each round for the next 2 rounds. That is the first single crochet round, and now repeat it again for the second round. Once you've come back around, we will do our final round for the shell. This round we will single crochet in the front loop only all the way around. Once you've come all the way back around, slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1, and fasten off, leaving a short tail. Real quick, we will secure our ends before moving on to the next step. So taking the tail we just cut, create a V by going through the next stitch from the front in, like so, and then into the center of the previous stitch, just like that. And now, working on the wrong side, we'll just bring this tail in and underneath the back loops. And you can just let this tail go for now. We're going to secure this tail with when we join our secondary color on. Next, secure your magic ring or your chain 2 tail, just with a couple of knots like we did before. There we are. Now, working again with our, I'm giving this a bit of a stretch because I'm using this burnout yarn. It's quite old, so it works up a little bit differently than the newer plushy yarn. We're using your secondary color, your skin color. Here's the point where you can use 3 colors if you'd really like. I like to keep this pattern a lot more simple, so I will be only using 2 colors. But we will be, every time we do a bobble stitch, you can change to the skin color and use a different color for the stomach if that's what you're looking for. Let me pull up the pattern real quick so that I get the stitch counts right for this next round. Here we go. So we're going to join our new color on that final back loop here. Then the back loops will work here. So this will close that seam and flatten it out a bit by starting on the upper portion first. Just single crochet and then single crochet into the next back loop, like so. Next, we are going to bobble. The way we bobble is by beginning a double crochet, and before closing it off, we'll begin another and another until we have a total of 6 double crochets, or half completed double crochets, and then we'll crochet them together. I'll just be showing you how to do this once. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through 2 of the loops on your hook. That is half the double crochet completed, and you're going to repeat this for a total of 6 times. And 6. Now, doing this 6 times, it can get a little bit tight. If it's a little too difficult to work with, you can lower it down to 5. In the next stitch, we will single crochet, and there we have our first leg complete. And we're going to single crochet 3 more times, so a total of 4 single crochets, and we're going to bobble again, same as the last leg. And 6, and then pull through all the loops on your hook and single crochet into that next stitch. Now after we bobble, we'll single crochet twice, so a total of 2 times, and we will attach the head at this point. So the way we do this is we find our eyes and we pinch the head closed with the with the eyes straight across from each other. What we're going to do is we're going to keep that less attractive side facing down towards the shell. And we're going to insert our hook into the first 2 stitches, like so. And then straight through the next stitch on our shell. Yarn over, pull through all 3 of those pieces, and then complete the single crochet. Now we're going to insert our hook into the next stitch on the head through both sides, just like so, and then through the back loop and single crochet as normally. And we'll do this 1 more time to attach to the head. Now at this point, you may notice the head will be a little floppy. This is what I talk about when I say that the optional sewing would be to secure the back of the head so it doesn't flop around, which I'll show you how to do when we get to that point. In the next 2 back loops, single crochet, and then we are going to create the next leg with our bobble, same as we did before, with 6 double crochets in this bobble. There we are, and single crochet into the next 4 stitches. Now we will bobble once more. And this is the final time we are going to bobble. pull through all those loops. You should have 3 single crochets left and just single crochet into all 3 of those stitches. There you are. If you're missing a stitch because you accidentally skipped one of the bobbles, then that's perfectly fine. We'll just be decreasing. So if you have 1 too many stitches or 1 less stitch, just continue on with the pattern and pretend like it's not happening. It'll turn out just fine, I promise you. For this next round, we will decrease and then single crochet 2, and we'll repeat this 6 times. Once you've come all the way back around, we're just going to tie these 2 tails together from the end of the rounds. This doesn't need to be super tight or anything, just a loose knot, just like so, and you can tuck those tails back in. Now for this next round, we will decrease and then single crochet and repeat that 6 times. Once you've completed that round, we will just stuff the body. Now for our final round, where we will just decrease in each stitch around. Slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 1 and fasten off, leaving a long tail. Now at this point we will close the body. If you need to stuff it anymore, make sure to do it now. My turtle is definitely well stuffed, so I will thread my needle and we will close up this hole. Just collect all the front loops and pull it tight. Make sure not to pull too tight that you pop or snap your yarn, especially if you're working with this plushy yarn. It can be pretty easy to do that. Once you've gone all the way around, just create an arch and slip your end under it. This will create a knot and secure this tail. Now at this point you can weave in the end, so just tuck it in 3 or 4 times, but I will be showing you how to secure the head. Going to the either side of the head will work. We will collect this round. So this is the second single crochet round, and we'll pull it through and through these back loops of the shell. And we'll repeat this, whoop, all the way down, and this will prevent the head from flopping around. When you do this stitching, make sure you don't go too deep because you don't want to see that skin color on the shell. And you can do this 3 or 4 times depending on where you started. And once you have come all the way around and you're satisfied with the head, now at this point when you flap it, it won't move on its own, which is the way I like it. Secure this tail by creating an arch and slipping your tail through it, and that'll create a knot. Now just tuck this tail in, weave it in. I like to weave it in 3 times. Back, forth, and then back 1 more time. Once you finish, just trim that tail off, tuck in those fluffies, and we are finished with our no-sew, or mostly no-sew, depending on what you choose to do, turtle. There we have it, our super cute turtle. Thank you for joining me on day 6 of the Crochet Christmas Challenge if you were here for that. Otherwise, thanks for crocheting along with me. I definitely designed these patterns with the whole rest of the year in mind, so I definitely hope to see some of you after Christmas time as well. I hope to see you in day 7 of the Crochet Christmas Challenge. It is, I'm not going to spoil it, but it is very cute. I'm quite excited to show it to you. Make sure to leave a comment letting me know if you completed this pattern and if you enjoyed following along. And I will see you in day 7. Bye!